August 28th of 1963, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom was one of the largest rallies of civil rights in the history of America. They say some 200 to 300,000 appeared at that rally. 80% of those were said to have been African Americans, where the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King addressed a crowd with a rousing speech, "I have a dream." Dream was so that everyone would have an equal playing field to jobs, regardless of your race and the God you serve. Everyone would have access to education. Everyone would have access to vote. Everyone would have access to go to a water fountain and grab a cool sip of water. And I've listened as I pondered as to whether or not I would speak today. I've listened to some testimonies and say we've come a long way. As Dr. Martin Luther King fought for civil rights, some of the most, some of the benefits that I believe that every person in America should have. And so as we listen to these testimonies, we actually have to ask ourselves, have we come a long way? When you understand that education that he fought for then is still an issue that we fight for now. People of color have the lowest representation in our colleges. We've come a long way, but have we come a long way? We talk about eliminating racism that he fought for, but yet we see on the news just a few weeks ago about how racism is still prevalent and is still an adopted policy by so many. We've come a long way, but have we come a long way? We think about the inequities in our workplace, with women trying to burst through that glass ceiling, underrepresented in elected office and on the job, in leadership positions. The very same thing that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King advocated for. We shall overcome. I have a dream. But when is that dream going to come to fruition? We've come a long way, but have we really, members, come a long way? We think about the fight where he spoke about people having equality, being able to vote. But yet we see even still in the South, there's still moves for voter suppression, tearing away the dream of people that wish that they would not be able to live this day to see people say they don't have a right to vote. And so I remember the speech hearing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. over and over and over again in elementary and junior high and high school and throughout college. But as I listened to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and I closed my eyes, I often wonder if I'm actually listening to Dr. Martin Luther King right now in the year 2013. Because the same things that he was fighting for and advocating for, if you just close your eyes just for a second, I promise you, you'd think you were still in 2013. When you look at the biggest civil rights issue today, and that is gay marriage, you wonder if you're still in 2013. When you look at the fact that equality is not given to those that are working with insurance the way it is given or lack thereof to those that are not working with the lack of insurance. And President Barack Obama is advocating that every person, regardless of your socioeconomic status, should have the opportunity to go see the doctor if you have a heart problem. Equality is justice, but justice is equality, and equality is a civil right. But equality is a civil right. But equality is a civil right. I do have a dream.